Lions newsfan report Joey Bosa's future with the Chargers. The end of an era or an unexpected twist. Imagine one of the NFL's top defenders on the verge of leaving the team he helped build over the past few years. Is this the reality that Los Angeles Chargers fans will have to face? With NFL free agency approaching, Joey Bosa's future is still uncertain, and the team's backstage rumors indicate that big decisions are coming. Bosa's departure has been speculated for some time. The main reason: the Chargers could free up about $25 million in cap space by parting ways with the player. For a team looking to explore new strategies and options on the market, this financial relief makes sense. But then, why is General Manager Joe Hortiz still keeping the door open for the defender's stay, even with his $36.4 million cap hit? The answer may lie in the team's own moves in free agency. Before making any final decisions, the Chargers need to see how Khalil Mack fits into the picture. Additionally, the market could present offers that completely change the course of this negotiation. What if an irresistible offer comes up? According to a recent projection from Bleacher Report, the Chargers could trade Bosa to the Detroit Lions in exchange for a fourth-round draft pick. This scenario might seem unfavorable at first glance, but considering that Bosa has played in more than 10 games only once in the past 3 years and hasn't posted a 10-sack season since 2021, the trade could be viewed as a strategic refresh. For Los Angeles, clearing cap space and securing a valuable draft pick could be a smart move, but for this change to happen without compromising the defense, the return of Mack and the development of Tuli Tuipulotu would be key factors. However, the Chargers' defense has evolved significantly in recent seasons. With the addition of Khalil Mack, the team now has another elite pass rusher to anchor the defensive line. While Mack is older, he has still proven to be a valuable asset. But even with Mack's leadership, the Chargers will need to find someone to complement him, particularly if Bosa is out of the picture. One potential solution could come in the form of Tuli Tuipulotu. The rookie defensive lineman has shown flashes of brilliance and could develop into a key player for the Chargers moving forward. His growth in the next season or two will be crucial to the team's defense, especially if Bosa is no longer around to lead the charge. The Chargers have also invested heavily in their secondary, with standout players like Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr. playing pivotal roles. These players have the potential to pick up the slack and help bolster the defense if there is a drop-off in the pass rush. But no matter how strong the secondary is, there's no substitute for pressure on the quarterback, which Bosa has provided in spades over the years. Another aspect to consider is the role of defensive coordinator Brandon Staley. Staley has a history of maximizing his players' strengths, so it will be interesting to see how he adjusts his defensive scheme if Bosa is no longer part of it. Will the Chargers become more aggressive with blitz packages, or will they rely on Mack and the other pass rushers to step up? The Chargers also have to think about the long-term implications of parting with Bosa. While the cap space gained would be helpful in the short term, the team will need to ensure they are still competitive in the years to come. The defense can't afford to take a step back, especially with the AFC West being one of the most competitive divisions in football. In addition, the Chargers will need to make sure that any trade or release of Bosa doesn't create a negative ripple effect in the locker room. Bosa has been a leader for years, and his departure could impact team morale. For a team with playoff aspirations, maintaining the right culture and leadership will be critical. On the flip side, the potential cap space could allow the Chargers to sign other free agents who might address different needs on the roster. A potential upgrade at the cornerback or linebacker position could be just as important as bolstering the defensive line. This is where General Manager Joe Hortiz's vision for the team's future will come into play. The idea of trading Bosa to the Detroit Lions has been circulating as a potential scenario. The Lions, who have been building a strong team in recent years, could benefit from adding a player of Bosa's caliber. With their defense improving under head coach Dan Campbell, Bosa could be the missing piece to solidify their pass rush and provide leadership for a young, hungry team. Detroit has been aggressive in free agency, and adding Bosa could be a way for them to push for a deeper playoff run. From the Chargers' perspective, a trade to the Lions could give them a valuable draft pick to build for the future. While a fourth-round pick might seem like a low return for a player of Bosa's talent, the Chargers may view it as a necessary move to gain cap flexibility and reinvest that money into other areas of the team. The potential of a draft pick could lead to a future cornerstone player, and given the age and injury history of Bosa, the Chargers may feel this is the right time to move on. However, any trade will come with risks. Bosa has proven himself as one of the most disruptive defensive players in the NFL when healthy. His ability to sack quarterbacks and change the game with his sheer power makes him a valuable asset. If the Chargers part ways with Bosa, they are taking a gamble that the money saved will be used wisely to bring in players who can fill his shoes. If that gamble doesn't pay off, it could set the defense back in a major way. One of the key players the Chargers will need to rely on If Bosa is traded, is rookie defensive lineman Tuipulotu has shown flashes of potential during his early career, and the Chargers will need him to continue growing into a bigger role. He's a young, talented player who could be a future leader of the defense. If the Chargers decide to move on from Bosa, Tuipulotu could emerge as a key piece to take on more responsibility in the pass rush. The Chargers have also invested in other young players on the defensive side of the ball, including linebackers and defensive backs. The defense is beginning to evolve, and if Bosa leaves, it could be a transition period where the team shifts to a more balanced defensive scheme. The development of Tuipulotu and other young players like him will be vital in ensuring the defense doesn't take a step backward. Khalil Mack's role in the coming season will be crucial, especially if Bosa is no longer part of the equation. While Mack is getting older, he remains a force on the defensive line. His ability to generate pressure on the quarterback is still top tier, and he could be asked to carry even more of the load if Bosa departs. Having a seasoned veteran like Mack alongside emerging players will provide a sense of stability as the team undergoes potential changes on defense. Mack's leadership and experience will be key for a young defense that could be in flux. He has seen it all during his career and knows what it takes to be successful in the NFL. If Mack can stay healthy and continue playing at a high level, he could help guide the defense through any growing pains and ensure that the Chargers don't lose too much of their edge. The Chargers' defensive strategy will undoubtedly shift if Bosa is no longer part of the picture. The team will need to be creative in how they approach the pass rush. One option could be to use a more varied defensive front, with more emphasis on blitzing and stunting to generate pressure. This could be an opportunity for defensive coordinator Brandon Staley to get creative and implement new schemes that maximize the talent he has on hand. Another option is to focus more on building a solid secondary to compensate for any potential drop-off in the pass rush. The Chargers already have standout players like Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr., who can make plays in the backfield. A strong secondary can often mitigate a weaker pass rush, so the Chargers might shift focus to developing their cornerbacks and safeties even further. Of course, there's still the possibility of a new deal with Bosa, as long as he's willing to negotiate again, especially after accepting a pay cut last year. However, this alternative seems unlikely. And you, fan, what do you think of this potential change? Would it be a mistake for the Chargers to let go of a talent like Bosa, or is it the right time for a defensive overhaul? Share your opinion in the comments, and if you want to stay updated on the latest NFL news, follow the Lions News Fan Report.